Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to Drinking Bros Sports, kids. NFL is in full motherfucking swing here. Average ratings over the weekend were 43 million across the board for the 4 games. All 4 games were amazing. Hey, we're joined by Brian Urlacher. That ooh you hear in the background is Brian.
Sorry.
Bry guy, you're fine. The highest,
That's
by the way,
people.
the peak was 52 million. At one point, there was 52 million watching, and I'm assuming it was during that Chiefs game. And then they gave up with 13 seconds left and kind of bailed. That's the dead serious. That's the only number that makes sense to me because I'll be totally honest with you. I bailed after that touchdown as well with 13 seconds left. And then for shits and gigs, I went back and looked on my phone and I was like, there's no way that just happened.
Man, the Super Bowl is 90 to 100 million views.
Yeah.
So at least the Bills Chiefs game got half that. Mm-hmm. That's fucking wild. I haven't seen that in a while.
The other number to look out for, Brian, is New York opened up gambling on your phones for mobile. There was $150 million bet on just those games in the state of New York over the weekend. Broke every record there was. So this is only going to grow as this opens up into more and more states.
It's so healthy to have betting on your phone. It's really good for people and their finances and stuff like that. That's a great thing.
We always have to read a disclaimer about if you have a gambling addiction, call this number. Yeah.
Yep.
And even when you see the stats for it, it's one of those things where you're like, are people really calling that hotline? I'm not sure.
Why not?
Now, so out of the 4 games this weekend, Brian, we'll start with you. Which was your favorite game and which was your most surprising game?
So on Sunday, I was traveling. Where was I? I was in Florida coming back home. I don't know where I was. Anyway, I was traveling somewhere, so I didn't get a chance to watch a bunch of the games on Sunday. But my favorite had to be a Chiefs game. I was following it on my phone at the airport. I was disappointed, obviously, in the end result. But what a badass game. I mean, 2 great quarterbacks. I felt bad for Josh Allen, honestly, because he deserves to be playing still. They should fire Leslie Frazier, their D coordinator, I believe. That should have cost him his job. But that was my favorite game. Green Bay was disappointing. That sucked.
Boy, worst game ever.
I definitely
Special teams, man.
I just want to say I called that.
Yeah, you did.
Did you?
Yeah. He
Like 2
hates
weeks
Aaron
in a row.
Rodgers, and
It's not just about Aaron Rodgers, although he is a loser.
He's not a loser. Why is he a loser?
He's 12-10 in the playoffs. He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and he's 12-10 in the playoffs.
and he's only got one
Doesn't make
Super
you a
Bowl.
loser.
That's like LeBron James numbers. He's a good regular season quarterback.
Don't compare him to LeBron James. Come on now.
Well, he's a better he's a better
Those are
person.
fighting words right there.
Listen, Brian, he's just no Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? He's not 10-3 when he throws 0 touchdowns in a game.
You weren't here. We got into it over this.
He is. That's why
0 touchdowns.
That's why
4-0 in the playoffs.
That's why
when he throws 0 touchdowns.
That's why I keep betting on San Francisco because they don't have to score with their offense to win. And that's a fucking perfect. That's why they keep making it deep into these. And they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but they might get there. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll find out. Look, I was shocked that they beat the Packers last week.
I
lost a fuck ton of money. I was going to text you. There was actually some of these sites are offering like 10 and 13-point spreads. So the parlay I won hit, but only because it was a 13-point spread all the way around. But I got housed on that individual Packers game. I bet 1,000 on that Packers game, and boy, that did not go my way.
I won big on that and the Bengals. We were at the Bengals game.
Oh, the Bengals played great.
Yeah.
Their defense showed up. I saw your pictures at the game there. How about 9 sacks and you still win the game?
Well, their defense showed up, but Tennessee also showed up. And what I mean by that is
Tennessee loses games for no reason all the time.
Like their defense showed up against Ryan Tannehill.
Somebody, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. I think you can take the man out of Miami, but you can't take the dolphin out of the man or something like that.
Yeah, but the Bengals are starting to win games the way they usually lose games, right? Like Tannehill threw an interception with 11 seconds left.
Yeah.
And they
Burrow's made a deal with the devil,
yards
man.
for the interceptions.
Burrow's a fucking
field goal.
He got some of that
How about there's no
Louisiana
sense of
Cajun
urgency?
shit.
Oh, yeah, that dude's unbelievable. How about there's no sense of urgency when Tennessee has the ball with like 2 minutes left to go on their own 25, tie game, and they're just like moseying in and out. They're still huddling, like moseying out. I think Vrabel knew that his guy was going to throw a pick because he wasn't in any hurry to score a field goal or anything.
No, he wasn't at all. And again, we were sitting right behind the Titans bench, and we got to see it unfold in real time. We were like, wait a minute.
Hurry up.
They think they're going to win the game. What it looked like to me, because, again, we were super fucking close, was that Derrick Henry looked timid in that game. And I think that's why they lost. Because there was a 4th and 1 play that he didn't make. And it's in what world does Derrick Henry not make that first down? He was coming back from injury, hadn't played since Halloween. It looked it, and I think that was the biggest difference in the game. And it forced Tannehill to throw a bunch. And he threw, 3 or 4 picks in that game?
3, I think, right?
He threw 3, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rough week.
But, as a defense guy, do you like to see defense in games like this, or do you like to see high-scoring games like the Chiefs-Bills?
Well, it depends on who I bet on, honestly. But, no, I don't like the Chiefs-Bills game. There's too many points. You got to play some defense. And I know there's 2 great quarterbacks going at it. And I feel like the Chiefs' defense have been playing pretty well the latter part of the season. They've been playing pretty good defense. And then to see that, I'm also saying that Josh Allen's pretty fucking good. Gabriel Davis showed up too. They made plays. So I like watching games that are competitive. Whether there's a lot of points or not many points, I don't really give a shit. I just like watching close games that are good.
Josh Allen is a stud, by the way.
Yes.
Like if anybody's still curious about that, he's an absolute stud. And don't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers decides to hang it up and retire. Devontae Adams doesn't end up in Buffalo. Do not be surprised if that happens.
That's a hot take. I have not heard that. Yeah.
That's exactly where he should go. It's the same fucking weather.
Him and Stephon Diggs together would be devastating.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis.
And Beasley.
And Beasley, Beasley in the slot with those other 3 guys. I mean, what the fuck?
Boy.
And Dawson Knox, the tight end.
Yeah, that'd be an unbelievable
and
offense
the best
if that
pass
happens.
rush in all of football. Let's not forget that.
That would be an incredible team to lose at Arrowhead in January.
Yep. You just can't. Here, let me ask your take on this because we're kind of a divided house over here. 13 seconds left. Do you squib kick or do you fucking do what they did?
Man, I'm squibbing.
Because you got McCole Hardman back there, right? And Tyreke Hill as a potential returner. That's a problem on both ends.
Well, maybe they're taking a chance of returning it there. Then you got 1 play left to probably win the game or to get in the field goal range unless there's a PI. But, I was confused as to why they didn't squib it. And Sean's a great coach. I mean, he doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. But why you don't squib it? And then why – so cover 2 is the easiest defense in the world to play. I played it my whole career. You play cover 2. You tackle them inbounds, make them use their timeouts. And the drive that pissed me off was the one before that where they played man coverage when Tyreke scored the touchdown.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Fucking playing man coverage against those receivers?
Yeah.
And they have to have score a touchdown to get ahead. I don't understand it. It's a lot of questionable shit going on at the end of that game.
I don't want to get too wonky here, but for the audience, can you explain what a cover 2 defense is? I don't think we've ever had an NFL defensive Hall of Famer do that before.
Yeah. So what it is, you got 4 D linemen rushing, 4 pressure. You have 2 safeties deep, 1 playing each half. You have 2 corners, 1 they each play the curl to flat area or whatever, and they play deep or short to deep. They're sinking under the 7 route by the receiver. And you have a middle linebacker who's playing middle read, which is essentially cover 3 by your middle linebacker. He's playing the middle of the field. And you have 2 hook droppers, probably a nickel back and a will linebacker. So you have 5 underneath, 2 deep. And if someone goes deep in the middle, the Mike linebacker will take them down the middle of the field.
So that Travis Kelce play where he sprints up the middle all the time, that's the middle linebacker that takes that play?
Should be. It should be the middle linebacker. Unless sometimes we would change it up, sometimes just to confuse teams, and sometimes Lance would take them. But most of the time, it was I was responsible for the guy down the middle. So usually in cover 2, if someone caught it, you can blame me.
We're gonna roll that tape and find out.
So exactly. Hold on.
Good luck finding any.
You thought the Tyreke Hill touchdown was more egregious than 50 yards in 12 seconds at the end of the game?
I just don't see how you can play man. I mean, I look like man to me. I don't know what the call was. I hate calling guys out when I don't know what the defense is, but for sure, I look like man to me. But yeah, you got 13 seconds and you get 40 yards. I don't. You take your pick. Both of them pissed me off. I didn't understand.
But the average return, let's say it was only like a good return, 25, 30 yards maybe, right, on a good return. Like if he didn't squib it, if he just kicked it deep but not too deep and they had to return it, you're talking about 6 to 7, maybe 8 seconds off the clock. You got 1 play left.
For sure.
So he either has to get in field goal range on the kickoff, which, I mean, it could happen. But if you give Patrick Mahomes the ball at the fucking 25, they're definitely getting there.
I assume they would have fair caught it, right? So no time.
It's not college.
Off.
Yeah,
but then you're on the 15 or 10-yard line, though. Yeah, but you're on the 10-yard line.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so,
no time would have bled, but they would have been further back.
You can take the chance of letting it go out of the back of the end zone, I guess.
Yeah.
But what if it stays in? Then it's a live ball, right? It's not like a punt. That's a whole other situation. So you got your hands team out there anyways. You're going to pick that ball and run with it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
The other game that didn't make any sense from a defensive standpoint at the end of the game was the zero blitz by Tampa Bay against the Rams that allowed Cooper Kupp to go straight down the middle of the field and catch that deep ball for 60 yards or whatever it was to set up a field goal. How surprised were you with that defensive call? And also, it looked like the linebacker, the safety, didn't blitz when they were supposed to?
I didn't see that game. I was flying as well. I was actually playing golf on Sunday, so I didn't see that part of the game. But yeah, zero blitz for me is great in the red zone. So if they're going to score and you need to stop them, you send everybody because there's no room. They can't run deep by you because the back of the end zone's back there. So if you got the whole field to mess with and you run a zero blitz, man, that's some shit right there because a lot of stuff can go wrong as it did in that game, especially against Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, Higbee, who's a really good receiver as well. You got three receivers right there who, if they catch the ball, could make some things happen, and they did. But I'm so glad that the Rams won. So, I mean, however it happened, they were up to, 24-7 or something like that, 24-10, something like that.
27-3 at one point.
Yeah. And then they shit the ball away before the half for another at least 3 points. So, damn, it was 27-3?
27-3, and then Brady came back and tied it, and it was shades of the Falcons
game.
So
it was all Brady. It wasn't anybody. No one else did anything on their team?
No, I would love to say it's all Brady, but the Rams kept fumbling the ball. Yes, over and over and over again. I mean, it was shocking. You were like, is that another fumble?
And Brady kept recovering them. He would cause them and then recover them and then throw a touchdown to himself. That guy is unbelievable.
I mean, Giselle said it herself.
He can't throw and catch the ball.
But they had.
Oh, that's right. Wes Welker.
Yeah, dude. It's, they cut away at Giselle throughout the game. She's still Giselle, of course.
I don't know what happened with Brian Allen in that play, though, when he overthrew, or he hiked the ball without, Stafford wasn't even looking at him, right? Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that?
Oh, was that the end of the halftime, first half there?
It was with a center snapped the ball over, because Cam Akers lost too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes they hear shit that they go on silent counts and the defense will say something that they may think is the quarterback or it's their word, or you may see the sometimes the guards putting his arm out and some shit and they may see him flash. I don't know.
I've got a solution for this. It's an electric butt plug, right? Mm-hmm. And the quarterback just presses it whenever he's ready for the ball. Shocks homeboy's butthole.
I like that a lot.
Do you remember actually during one of the Alabama-Georgia games, maybe the SEC championship, they were on one of the teams on a silent count, I think, and the other two, you could see the defense fucking clapping.
Mm. Yeah.
You could see dudes
on
the defense.
They called a penalty.
They did, yeah.
But he wasn't clapping.
Yeah,
he was doing this. He was going like this, and they called the penalty on him.
Have you ever done that? Try to mock the other quarterback's voice?
No, I have not, but we've had D linemen who have done it when we pick up on something, and the refs always get you on it. I feel like it doesn't. They may let it slide once, but the second time they're going to get you for sure. Because the linemen all start bitching if there's something happens, and heaven forbid they get called for a false start. They all start complaining, so the refs have to make it fair so the offense has an advantage.
Man, a lot of fucking anti-offense.
Right.
Propaganda coming out of this NFL Defensive Hall of Famer over here.
That's right.
Tons.
Thank you. Yes.
Tons.
Damn right.
And out of the quarterbacks this weekend, any shot that Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady actually retires? I don't think so. What about you?
I believe if one of them does, it'll be Aaron. With all the bullshit he had to put up with this year and all the media just always on him for no reason. Guys, all the facts, bullshit, whatever they're all over him about. And there's so much stuff that goes on off the field. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, honestly. Tom, I think, will come back. Just, what else is he going to do? If he doesn't, I think I would tell Giselle all day. If he has to, if he doesn't work, what's he going to do? I think one of them does, it'd be Aaron.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because
I think there's a pretty good chance that Aaron Rodgers retires, starts his own podcast or something, or hosts Jeopardy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually, hosting a show is probably not an option at this point.
Yeah.
He burned all of Hollywood after the vaccination stuff, so
Yeah.
he's done in that realm.
But still,
Podcasts.
McAfee makes plenty of fucking money.
Oh, yeah. He'd love to have
Yeah.
Aaron on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, the same slot that he's in now. For me, I look at Tom Brady and the numbers that he put up this year and Aaron Rodgers. Both are at the top of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Why would either of them retire? And how do you leave not getting a last Super Bowl? I think both of them come back. I think Aaron probably stays with the Packers, and then Brady will probably reload with the Buccaneers somehow.
I don't know about Aaron staying with the Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
Where would he
Devontae's
go?
a free agent.
Devontae's
too.
a free agent. I think he and Devontae Adams are going to go to the same place probably.
Some people are speculating the Denver Broncos.
They better start
No.
saving their money.
Yeah,
whoever
that's
that
for
signs
sure,
him.
sure. But you can get Aaron on a deal, right? Because it's not about money for him at this point.
Good trade. Yeah, true.
And I think the most obvious landing point to me, I don't know why it's the most obvious to me, but I think Pittsburgh's probably the most obvious.
Really?
Yeah, because they have a coach who's a great coach, right? One.
Yeah.
Two, they're probably going to lose Juju, right? Which means they're losing him and Roethlisberger just retired, so they have huge cap space to bring in 2 dudes to fill those 2 roles exactly on a team that if they had a little bit better quarterback, probably would have went a little bit farther this year, right?
Great running back too.
Yeah.
Najee Harris,
Najee Harris
beast.
is a fucking beast.
And
How are they up front offensively? They're okay, right?
They're okay, yeah. They're not great.
Well,
but
Aaron makes everyone makes every O-lineman better. Anyway.
Yeah, he does. He's the best pocket presence guy I think I've ever seen.
Plus, you're playing Baker. You'd be playing Baker Mayfield twice a year, so that's 2 wins.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
well,
not
if he
anymore.
still exists.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll see if he still exists.
He'll be
Wanted to
there.
get your thoughts on Chicago Bears' new head coach. They hired the defensive coordinator for the Colts, Matt Eberflus. It's the first time I've heard that name. People are pissed off on Twitter because they wanted somebody offensive-minded for Justin Fields. What are your thoughts on that?
I heard that at the golf course today. Somebody asked me about it. I had no idea they'd hired him. I honestly thought they'd hire an offensive guy as well. I was surprised they went with defense. But I think when you're you have to hire the best guy you think fits your team. And whether it's an offensive guy or defensive guy, you can hire a good quarterbacks coach. You can hire a good offensive coordinator to help Justin Fields out. But, yeah, maybe he fit what they were looking for. He had a great interview. They play pretty good defense in Indy up and down. I mean, at times they've been really good. They've been up and down a little bit as well. But he must have interviewed well is all I can think. But, congrats to him. Hopefully he gets them turned around there in Chicago.
I think people have this weird idea that there's some Kentucky windage to managing a football team. Like you have a really great defense. You should bring in an offensive-minded head coach because you've already got defense covered. That is not at all how that works.
It's not.
That's like your fucking coaches all the way down to like the linebacker coaches that he worked with, preparing you for the next week, making sure they're professional, everybody's on the same page and all that bullshit, and these dudes are prepared. Like Dallas with all those penalties, their whole fucking coaching staff should be fired.
Yeah.
Like the whole staff. They had 10 or 12 pre-snap penalties or some shit like that. I think it was 12.
At home.
Yeah,
At home, yeah.
Like that is unacceptable. So just because Chicago has a great defense doesn't mean they're just covered there. Like you lean into your strengths typically, right?
Yeah.
Their defense was down. Their defense wasn't that great last year. They were down a little bit.
Yeah.
They had some. They were good for a while, but they didn't finish as well as they should have.
What's the saying? There's like in war, like the general saying is the best generals are logistical generals.
Yeah.
Like it's not about battlefield tactics.
No.
It's about the dudes who run the supply chain,
Putting
supply
shit in
trains
the
and
right
like
spot.
that. Yeah.
That's what it's about, and it's a lot easier to take something from 8 to 10 than it is from 5 to 10, right? And their defense is probably in 7 or 8 right now, frankly, and their offense is not anywhere close to that.
Did you just go full Kellen Winslow Jr.?
Yeah.
Compare football to war?
Kellen Winslow Jr. has done a number of things.
Yeah, I don't think you want to compare yourself.
He was
I'm more
a
of a Kellen Winslow senior type of guy.
Senior,
Personally.
yeah.
MIZ.
You mentioned the interview process. I find that interesting because the rumor was that he had interviewed with Jacksonville right before this, had a great interview, and then the Bears immediately rushed him in and then signed him. How important is that process, and are you privy to it as players when you're going through it?
We have no idea. No idea what's going on. At least I didn't. I only played for 2 head coaches. I was lucky. But when they hired Lovey, I had no idea what the situation was, the process was. And it's all the owners. It's all the McCaskies there. And I'm not. I guess they hired a GM yesterday as well. So didn't the GM come from
The Chiefs.
Indy
Chiefs,
as well?
No.
Oh, Chiefs. Okay, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
got that was. So I don't know how much input he had on that. I'm not sure how that works, but you kind of want to marry those two together. I feel like if you hire a GM, he should have some input on if you hire him before your head coach, who the head coach is going to be.
For sure.
They're going to be working together a lot. So I don't know. Maybe some players get privy to that. Quarterbacks like Rodgers and Brady may get some input on that, but I never was.
Well, I don't think Rodgers has historically. That seems be a bit of a pain point for them.
I thought LaFleur was one of his guys that he liked.
LaFleur, yeah, but like players, not so much.
Yeah,
players.
No,
coaches
players.
That.
No.
And the hardest part for the Bears is they don't have a first-round pick. So it's not like you're going to pick some superstar in the first round to complement Justin Fields.
First round picks are overrated anyway, man. You give me someone I can trade for. How about I gave you 2 first round picks for Khalil Mack? How about that? We'll take a guy who's we talked about this, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Rams.
You just don't know what you're going to get with the first round pick. If you could trade it for somebody who's already established and good, I'll take that. Or maybe a first and a third for somebody like that. That's a good deal in my opinion.
Yeah. What round were you?
I was a first round. I got lucky.
Yeah, you did. Come on.
Yeah.
There's something to the first round picks. Don't
you happen to get
in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're in the goddamn Hall of Fame.
But it's hard. But it's a crapshoot. You just don't know what you're going to get, man. There's a lot of guys that didn't make it as well.
That's true. And
tough.
Somebody, ESPN did this for last year's draft. I think it was last year, where they went through all of the people that had traded up in the first round to get quarterbacks specifically and exactly who those quarterbacks were, and it was not a good list.
Right.
Yeah.
They were all fucking terrible. It doesn't work out. Like the value, even when the quarterback has some modicum of success in the NFL, it's not worth the capital that you've given up to take him that high. Like you would have 100%. In the same way you should never pay a running back, you shouldn't draft a quarterback in the first round ever, unless it's like an obvious generational talent. Like Joe Burrow, great pick.
Yeah.
Right. But anybody else?
Did the Chiefs? The Chiefs traded up a little bit to get Mahomes, I think.
Yeah.
They did.
I think it was like 2 spots, but so that's not
good move.
That's not a thing though.
Yeah.
Trading from 5 to 3 is not a thing.
I was going to ask, was Ditka wrong to trade all of the Saints picks for Ricky Williams?
Ricky Williams, possibly.
You're telling me that's a mistake?
Ditka turns out he's just like really high on weed all the time.
Yeah.
By the way, is it Ditka that's been trolling the fuck out of Aaron Rodgers on Twitter the last couple of days? Oh, it's Dick Butkus. That's right.
What Butkus do?
He's just talking shit to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he hates Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's been going all in.
It seems like it's just friendly talking shit, but after Rodgers, he talked some shit leading up to it, and after the game, Butkus tweeted like, "It seems like Rodgers was playing like somebody was in his head."
Yeah.
Butkus is a smart ass. He's great. I've been around him 20 times. He's so witty and doesn't give a shit. Obviously,
he definitely doesn't give a shit.
He's great. Yeah, he's fun to be around.
Didn't he take his helmet off one time and club a dude with it? Like, I'm pretty sure
I think he took the guy's helmet off and clubbed him with his own helmet.
Yeah.
Better.
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Jesus.
Why use your own helmet? You can use his.
You have to.
Outsource. Yeah.
And by the way, the Denver Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach, the offensive coordinator for Green Bay.
Just off that name alone, he's going to fail.
Yeah.
That's a bad name.
Nathaniel? I haven't heard of Nathaniel in a long time.
Nathaniel can't hack it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any info on his relationship with Rodgers?
Yeah, they're besties. He was the Green Bay offensive coordinator. He loves him. So if he's going to go somewhere, I would say Denver. But
does Rodgers want to go to the same division as Patrick Mahomes?
That's the big question.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
But he doesn't seem like he's up for challenges. He seems bored.
So then he'll just stay in Green Bay and keep winning the NFC North every year.
Yes.
Because there's no one challenges him in that division.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's why I think he's staying with the Packers.
He might.
Or, what was the other thing we said? Maybe the Colts. I feel like if he goes to a team, it's another dog shit division where he can kind of like coast to 11 wins.
The Colts or the Steelers would be a good spot for him.
Yeah.
Either one of those.
I thought Saints too, but then Sean retired, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's not retired. He's just taking a year off so he can take that Dallas job. Yeah.
Be a real shame if he was in Philadelphia.
Shut up. He's not going to Philly.
You got to get rid of Jalen Hurts.
That'd be a shame for him.
Yeah, it'd be awful for him. Jesus.
Although it can't be worse than Green Bay. Shit.
I think he quit because he wanted more publicity for that Netflix thing.
Who's Sean?
Yeah, because the Netflix movie's coming out next month.
Or maybe he's going to do a tour. It's him and Kevin James just eating at buffets across the country.
I have a theory that Kevin James is the opposite of a method actor.
Yeah.
He gets more Kevin James in his roles.
Yeah. It's true. It is true.
But he doesn't believe it in his own mind. We pitched him on a project. I can say this now because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
We pitched him on a project once where he was a chef, and it was before like the chef world had blown up and all that other shit. And no lie, his agent manager literally said, they were like, look, Kevin's a leading man now, okay? He was doing an MMA movie with Salma Hayek as his wife.
Great movie.
I don't remember the
Here
name
comes
of
the boom.
Here comes the boom.
Here comes the boom. You've never been on an international flight before?
it. So, no lie, his manager looked at us and he goes, we feel that with food, it would make Kevin seem like an overweight guy. And
we're really trying to shake that
Me
stigma.
and my partner were looking at each other. We're like, are we going to say anything? Like, he's fucking overweight. What the fuck? But with Sean Payton, it's a different story where Kevin James is fatter than Sean Payton.
Yep.
I'd be pissed off if I was Sean Payton.
Wait until the end of the fucking the presser tour they do. Sean Payton's going to look like Kevin James.
Maybe.
Because they're going to be going to fucking Golden Corrals all over the country, bro.
Yeah.
All over the country.
Yeah. That is a blackout at Applebee's situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kevin James is blacked out in fucking restaurants without drinking before. I guarantee you that. It's like that scene from Monty Python where the dude keeps eating until he explodes.
Yeah.
It's fucking enormous. I didn't make it up. I'm not the one that got fucking fat as shit.
You ever played with Kevin James in a celebrity golf tournament? He plays a lot of golf.
No, I've met him once. We played in a kickball tournament in Chicago, and he was there. Greg Olson used to have a kickball tournament every July or June, and they had a team one year, so I saw him there for that, but never. Other than that, never seen him.
How's his kickball game?
Yeah, is it good? Is it strong? Strong leg?
He was just spectating that game, so I can't comment.
I'm going to be a kickball umpire one of these days.
Kickball's great.
Is that a thing?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Make it a thing.
I'll show up and start calling games whether they want me to or not.
Dude, when someone gets thrown out, like when they get hit with the ball, you got to ring them up big time.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'll fucking get
I
dramatic about
love
it.
pelting people with the ball.
I'll pull my gun out and shoot it in the air a bunch of times. You're out, motherfucker.
Would you have considered playing baseball if they kept that rule? That's an old baseball rule. You used to be able to peg them with
Really?
the ball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. How
Yeah.
fun.
It'd be a blast.
As long as it's below the waist, right? Which you gives the opportunity
You
for
got a
people
helmet on.
to jump and shit.
Below the
I'm-
neck.
No, I'm just saying, well, I mean, you're getting close with the chest. You can fuck somebody up here. Maybe below the belly button, right? Maybe everybody
Your
just runs.
dick wouldn't hurt if you got hit in the dick. It'd be okay.
Well, you got a cup though, right? You can just wear all the
Not everyone
uniforms.
wears a cup, do they?
All the uniforms, yeah, everybody. Well, if you're playing baseball, you don't wear a cup. You're
Not in 1893.
Yeah, it's true. They just had like
yeah.
a fucking
Right.
pork tenderloin covered in the dick or something.
I mean, we had prisoners playing children in
Yeah,
baseball
yeah.
games.
No, but I
so-
think just make all the uniforms as a red line across the middle right there, like a barrel.
Okay.
And you got to throw
Under
it below
that?
that, yeah.
I'm down.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because then they can jump over it maybe, so you really got to fucking deke them and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to see who the real athletes are.
Yes.
Fuck all this bullshit.
I like it.
Who would play Brian Urlacher in a movie, by the way?
Ooh.
Denzel, probably.
Because, I mean, you don't really get to control it. Denzel's real good.
Oh, man.
In Whiteface,
That's a good question.
Denzel in Whiteface would be great.
Yeah, Denzel's played, I know, he's won a number of Oscars we don't know about.
There's not a whole lot of actors that are 6'4", though.
Every time you make
That's
a
true.
tackle, he just says, okay.
Maybe.
How about Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dolph would be
I
great.
like that guy.
But he's
Yeah.
he's too old now. Like Chris
He's a
Pratt.
little older than
Chris
myself.
Pratt maybe, but he's getting kind of older too.
Oh, yeah, I like Chris Pratt. No, he's younger than me.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
younger than
Yeah.
you, but I mean, if he was going to play like the Urlacher story from back in the day, it may take some work now to get him
Fuck
younger.
you, get a high school kid to do that, man.
Yeah, maybe Chris Hemsworth or Liam.
Oh,
Liam, the younger one.
that's my mush. No,
Yeah.
Chris. Chris is my mush.
Fat Chris from the last Avengers movie.
Here's
or-
what I want to
You
say.
know who's actually
Keep it-
available?
Who?
Army Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't he like strangling people in the woods somewhere?
Yeah, he's eating
He's eating
girls.
people, yeah.
I'm going to say keep it in the family. Okay, James Caan played Brian Piccolo. Scott Caan plays Brian Urlacher.
Scott Kahn's like 5'2".
He's 5'2" in real
He's a
life.
tiny man.
Not worried about
Scott
that.
Kahn.
Not worried
Which
about
one's
that.
Scott Kahn?
He's the
He's
little.
back.
He's the little one from Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11.
Tweeter
I love
from
that guy. Tweeter from
yeah.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What a great movie. Fuck, I love that show.
Big Varsity Blues fan. We've got
Oh, man.
a sponsor to read here before we get to the picks this weekend. We're on to the AFC and NFC Championship of the NFL playoffs. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is celebrating with huge odds boost for new customers. Counting down to Super Bowl 56, new customers can get 56-1 odds on any team. Just bet $5 to get $280 in free bets if your team wins. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on the action of the AFC and NFC championships. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy football contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BROS, and you'll get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code BROS for 56-1 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or Kenny Rodgers. Call Kenny Rodgers.
Great read.
Thank you.
Read there.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that was
Thank
a
you.
long one.
Really feeling it today.
Jeez.
Really feeling it today. I got a lot of honey
Nailed
in my
it.
voice today. I appreciate it. Now on to the AFC and NFC.
Wait, before we get to the
championships.
actual games, I want to talk about Odell Beckham, who is, by the way, crushing it.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Like that's how bad Baker. I saw this on Twitter too. Baker Mayfield sucks so bad that everybody thought OBJ was done.
Yep.
But clearly that is not the case.
He's getting shit on in LA though. Like it's easier to find people
Literally
to shit on you in LA.
though.
Yes.
Right? So Odell Beckham, for this deal he did with the Rams, it was $750,000, and he decided to get paid in Bitcoin.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you do a deal like that, you get paid at Bitcoin market value the day of signing, right? So X Bitcoin, it's however much it was then. At the time, Bitcoin was worth $64,293. Today, it's worth right around, what, $33,000?
36, yeah.
It's back up to 36.
Oh,
so this says
shit.
$35,400. Today, his deal is worth $412,903. Here's the problem. When you sign a deal to get paid in Bitcoin, it's a realized gain and not an unrealized gain, which means he gets taxed on all $750,000.
$750.
And he lives in LA City, and LA
California.
County, in California.
So
It's a 50.3% total tax.
Maybe he lives somewhere else though.
So that means
When he works there.
you get paid where the job is. So for Odell Beckham,
Oh man.
Yeah.
because of the decrease in Bitcoin and the high tax rate, the net of his contract, $35,703.
Shit,
But
dude.
then he'll never have to pay capital gains tax, will he?
No.
No, but who fucking cares?
He
You
just
got-
kind of leaves it in there.
Does this just prove he likes being metaphorically dumped on as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, what other conclusions can you draw there?
You didn't have that when you were playing, Brian, but would you have taken any form of your salary in Bitcoin?
Fuck no. I would have taken cash. I would have said, this is what I'm playing for. This is what the contract is. If I have escalators, great, but I would like to have it on paper. I like to see what I'm going to make every year. I don't want it to go like this and that. I want it to be that.
But also, you can take your game check every week and decide whether or not it's a good time to buy Bitcoin then, and do the same
There you
thing
go.
without paying
Yeah.
California on the fucking on your it's an asset that depreciated,
Yeah.
and he had to
thank
pay
you.
the tax on the fucking top level value of it. Do you understand how stupid that is?
Well,
It's not great.
So essentially, what happened is we figured out that because there was like,
Athletes aren't good at managing money.
well, yes, we already knew that. That was a
Sure,
that was
he
a scientific
was guided
fact.
there.
But people were saying for the longest time, like Odell Beckham Jr. is a head case, and then other people were like, no, it's his quarterback. But actually, there's a little bit of A and a little bit of B.
Little A and B, yeah. He's
Yeah.
also getting shit on, dude.
Right,
So it's
right,
like,
right.
yeah.
The jury's out on that one, I guess.
Did you ever have a teammate that liked to get shit on, Brian?
No, I didn't ask. I don't know what you're talking about. Shit on.
Like sexually.
me-
So sexually, Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yeah. It's actually. I have no fucking clue. I'm not. No. How about? I don't know.
So it wasn't Rex Grossman? No.
Sexy Rexy. That's
Sexy
that guy's
Rexy would be
man
down.
right there.
Because you look,
That's my guy.
the Odell Beckham Jr. story is crazy. Because
I don't know the
homegirl,
story. Wait. I don't know what you guys talking
she
about.
came out and did a podcast on it, and she said, "Hey, I've had a lot of celebrity hookups. One was Odell Beckham Jr., and he would get into the types of foods he wanted her to eat before flying her out to get shit on, and then not to shower. So he wanted it smelling a certain way, both front and back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The John McAfee.
Correct. And then he would get shit on.
There's no actual evidence of any of this.
No.
I heard her story though.
fuck.
It's so like it's incredibly detailed. It would
Yeah.
be next to impossible to make up. One, two. If it wasn't true, if somebody said in graphic detail that I love to be shit on, I would sue them for defamation in a heartbeat, and he didn't do that either.
I would at least maybe say in public that that's not true.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's impossible to make up? J.K. Rowling created an entire world.
Yeah, but that's a fiction book. If a woman comes out and makes that assumption against you, Cardi B just won a lawsuit 2 days ago for somebody defaming her on YouTube and won $4.5 million.
Wasn't 50 Shades like a fucking Twilight fanfic or something?
Oh yeah, she was.
So it's the same
she's
kind
a
of thing,
dumpy.
right?
She's a dumpy lady.
Yeah, it's the same
But this
thing.
was a real prostitute that shit on Odell Beckham Jr.
Allegedly.
No, dude, I believe that story.
Allegedly.
It's easy enough to say allegedly and still tell the story.
Yeah, you're allowed to say allegedly. Cover your ass, man.
You know
I'm
what I mean?
I'm trying to get
That's
not
gross.
sued.
She
That's
didn't
free.
cover her ass.
Anyways,
No.
I just want to say,
Yeah,
on like in terms of like etymologizing last names,
Yeah.
Grossman is German for getting shit on.
oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
wow.
He's a gross
that
man.
real?
He's a gross man from Munich, from what I've just gleaned from my Googling.
I'm pretty sure Grossman was smashing enough ass. He didn't need to get shit on. Although you would think the same about Odell.
No,
Beckham
his
Jr. too.
ancestors were.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He comes from a long line of shitters.
Yes.
Who did Rex end up marrying? A model? Did he go model route?
Oh, Allie, they were together ever since. I don't know where they met in college, and they were together the whole time in the NFL. They're still together now.
Now, the real wild card was
Allie
probably,
Grossman.
Florida girl.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
UF, let's go.
the real wild card was probably Kyle Orton.
Oh yeah.
Kyle's an animal. Now, I don't think he likes to get shit on, but that guy is awesome.
So Kyle Orton was the one on the team. Was he the craziest one? We were just like, oh goddamn, Kyle's going for it tonight.
Fuck, man. When we would go out, he would just like take the bottle and just like pour, just like drink. He was an animal. He went, man. Early on in his career, he was a little wild, but he was a lot of fun. I'll tell you that much.
I enjoyed watching him play, man. He just used to sling it around.
He was good. He was good.
He was fun to watch. Speaking of fun to watch, here we are. We are at the AFC Championship. That is the first game up, 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. This is the Bengals versus the Chiefs. This is Kansas City minus 7 points at home. The over-under is 54.5. Who do you got in this game, Brian?
This is tough. 7 points it seems like a lot for a playoff game to me, but I think Kansas City is going to pound them this time. You know, they played at Cincinnati 3 weeks ago. The Bengals beat them, but it was 28. I think it was 28 or 28-7.5 or something like that. 28-14.5.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a lot high scoring game at halftime, and then the Chiefs didn't score second half. But if this game, I would take the over and bet the Chiefs. I think Chiefs are going to come out, and their defense is playing better. I know they shit the bed last week, but they have better personnel. And that performance that Cincinnati's O-line had last week, that's those guys on the line should be chomping at the bit for Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a 31-24 game.
Yeah.
55 over.
That's easy. Yeah, I'm taking the over as well in this one. Look, the last time the Bengals game you mentioned about 3 weeks ago, the Bengals had to throw the kitchen sink at the Chiefs just to barely win. I think Burrow went for 400. I know his receiver went for 266 and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase. That's their only prayer at trying to keep this close. Who do you have in this game, D'Anthony?
I don't know. Tyrann Mathieu questionable right now. We'll see if he plays. That's gonna be a big deal, right? Because Sorensen is Sorensen's really, really good when Matthew is on the field because nobody's thinking about him. But when you target him, like, it starts to diminish a little bit, and that's a big problem. If Burrow could stay upright enough, you know what I mean? And I look, I don't know how Kansas City's pass rush compares, but it can't be that much better, right? It's Kansas City. Like, their defense is okay.
Yeah, and Brian, were you ever on a team like this where you have nothing to lose, essentially? Because the Bengals are way ahead of schedule at this point.
Yeah, they are.
As a player, do you just have a feeling where everybody talks about it in the locker room where they just say, all right, we're not supposed to be here anyways. Who gives a shit, and let's just go for it?
I think as a player, you think you can win every game. So I'm not sure that's their mindset. There's all the pressures on Kansas City. I know that much, and they probably feel that as well as Cincinnati. But as a player, you're just thinking we're going to win this game. That's all you think. We're going to beat them. I don't care what anyone else says. Our mind says we're going to win the game. That's the way you approach it.
So do the Bengals win this game, Dan?
No. No, but I don't know if it's 7. I mean, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's real dangerous. I might take it to, to be honest, I'm going to see how this plays out over the rest of the week. It hasn't moved much.
At all. This opened up at 7, by the way. So the second that game was over,
it's gone
this
down.
opened up at 7.
It's gone down and up and down. but it's. I think 7's where it's going to stay now, unless there's a big bet coming up in the next day or two.
Can I say one thing real fast?
Go ahead.
You know what's tremendous and really amazing about the playoffs so far? Because remember how before the end of the regular season, every team was getting coronavirus positives?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Does anyone remember that? And then what happened in the playoffs? How many have there been?
0.
Fucking 0.
Well, that's because they stopped testing on vaccinated players.
I don't give a shit what
Brian.
happened. The NFL controls who they want to. I mean, someone brought this to my attention last week. I was like, what? Yep.
True.
Go ahead.
Clearly, COVID respects big games. Okay, nothing happened with the national championship.
Yes.
Nothing happened with the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like random bowl games that
weird.
got canceled, but it wasn't the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Crazy how that works out.
The NFL magically stopped testing before the playoffs. Yeah.
Money,
the ratings are through the roof. That's all they give a shit about.
It's a joke.
It's like taking your mask off to eat and drink on a plane. It's like what
It's
COVID
the flu.
knows. Yes.
It's the flu.
I say take the over
right.
in this game. I'm not going to bet the game. I'm not going to give us 7 points because this might be a come from behind
Good
or
call.
overtime win. But I think the over is going to hit.
Okay. What about you, Delco?
So I like the prop bet of Joe Burrow yards more than Patrick Mahomes. I think he's still plus money. I think it's like plus 110. Because I think they're going to be down the entire game, and I think Burrow's going to have to sling it, and he's just going to rack up garbage time yards. And then Chiefs -7, Chiefs cover.
Okay. And what about the over-under?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Burrow pass attempts prop as well then?
Probably, yeah.
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 What's the over-under on that pass attempts?
I haven't looked it up. It doesn't really matter. It could be 45, and I'd take it.
I'd be careful about that, to be honest, because the Chiefs have like a bottom third of the league rush defense. And Joe Mixon is not a fucking hump. He can still run the ball.
No, he breaks ladies' faces real good. That guy can.
Boy, it is early in the day, but Bob is drinking.
Fuck him.
I like it, Bob.
Yeah.
Who do you got in this game? Bengals, Chiefs.
I've already parlayed the over and the Chiefs -7.
That's
I like
exactly what I
both.
did.
And
Yeah.
then also tease the Chiefs down to 1.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what I did.
fucking. If you tease both the over and the Chiefs down, that's free fucking money as far as I'm concerned.
Totally.
Oh, you can
I
never
agree
lose
with
a
that.
teaser. Teasers are too easy to win. Those never lose.
So at mine, yeah, exactly. There's one team that will fuck it up. On this -6 teaser, I did the exact same thing. I took KC down to 1, and I took this over/under at 48.5. Because I think 49 points is 7 touchdowns. I think they'll cover that, and I like to have money on both because we're down to the last 2 games here before we get to the Super Bowl. It's the last bit of junkiness gambling wise before March Madness that I can get into. Therefore, I've got to bet the game every which way that I possibly can.
But this is the perfect game to take overs, tease overs, and all that stuff because neither one of these two teams have to be on schedule to put big points on the board.
No.
Right.
Like they can score fucking 30 points among them in the last quarter and plus overtime easily. They just did it.
So
right?
in the Bills Chiefs games, I mentioned this on Monday. In the Bills Chiefs game, the over was in danger of not hitting with 3 minutes left.
Yeah. And they beat the over by
They end up scoring 25 points.
Yeah, like
by
it's
quite a bit.
Fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
For you.
Yeah.
the next game, not so much.
No, next game up is 49ers versus the Rams. God damn it. I just saying the word 49ers hurts my soul. I can't stand this fucking team. I hate them so much. I hate them so much that I almost want this in the fucking Bengals, them to collide and just for the worst game ever and then see who the last
It
person
would be
is.
the worst game over.
My God.
Ever, rather.
49ers versus Rams. This is Rams -3.5. The over-under is at 46 because the 49ers don't have an offense. Bry Guy, who do you got in this?
It's a tough one. I hate betting that division. The NFC West is the hardest division to bet in football. I try not to bet them if I can avoid it. But if you're asking me to bet this game, fuck, man. 3.5 points. I'm taking the Niners. They've won 6 straight games versus the Rams. Mm-hmm. They were down 17-0 last time and beat them 27-24 or whatever it was. I'm going to take the I'm going to go with the Niners riding that hot streak. You know, maybe Jimmy G will throw a touchdown and get a win. Who knows? I don't know, but there's something about they find ways to win those games, and I'm going to stick with them.
So last week or the week before when you were on, we got killed because we said the NFL doesn't have fullbacks. And 49ers fans came after us and they were like, Juice.
Oh, he's good.
You forgot about Juice, motherfuckers.
Juice check.
Yeah, they were like, dude,
check.
don't ever forget about Juice. And I was like, I've forgotten about the 49ers, okay?
He's a running back. He's not a fullback. He runs the ball more than he blocks for somebody.
I agree, but he is the fullback for Mitchell, and I will respect it, 49ers fans, but I will not respect this team. Man, watching that game, it crushed my soul. I hate seeing teams with Garoppolo threw for 131 yards last game. He was 11 of 19 with an interception, and that was it. And
half of which were half of his yards were at the final drive too.
He's 10-3, right?
Right.
When he doesn't throw a touchdown.
4-0 in the playoffs.
4-0 in the playoffs.
He better not throw a touchdown.
Garoppolo is like a great writer. He show don't tell.
I'll tell you.
Right? Like no exposition. He just gets it done.
Yeah. As somebody who's been in quite a few gunfights, right? So I understand the one-on-one combat mentality. If you be really afraid of somebody who's winning for a reason you can't understand because you can't fucking game plan for that shit.
I agree. And is that why you picked him, Brian? Because this team on paper shouldn't even be in the playoffs. I mean, they had to win their last 5 in a row, and then they had to come back against the Rams at home to beat them to go to the playoffs. Now you're playing them in the NFC Championship game.
So if I'm betting this game 3.5, I'm getting points. So I'm taking those games are always close. I feel like in that division, and the Dogs somehow find a way to win. So that's the reason I bet them. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I don't think they're going to lose by 4.
The other part about it too is 49ers fans actually travel. Which is shocking. They played in Dallas. We own a ticketing company, drinkinbrostickets.com. Shameless plug. The tickets for these games are astronomical. Last row in this stadium is $537, which is the price of a national championship for lowers, which is crazy to me. But it's because 49ers fans travel. There was a lot of them at the Dallas Cowboys game. There's going to be a lot on a short flight down to L.A. On that San Fran to L.A. flight, that's a one-way in Southwest, so there's going to be a lot of them there. Can they win for the 3rd time in the same season, and has that ever happened?
Ooh. They can. I mean, seeing a team 3 times, tough to beat them. It's tough to beat them twice, nonetheless, 3 times in a season. And they know each other so well because they're in the same division. So, I don't know, man. It's just I feel like Shanahan will probably find a way to fuck it up.
Maybe in the
Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Yeah, he usually waits for the Super Bowl to fuck it up.
I think they're going to go up. They're going to get like a fucking turnover on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, go up like 10-0, right? And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, if in a hypothetical 49ers versus Chiefs Super Bowl, every time the 49ers score, I'm buying more on the Chiefs. Every single fucking time, dude. Yeah. But there's no. I mean, look, that's the problem with this whole conversation. On paper, there's no way the 49ers can beat the Rams. Yeah. But they're probably going to. I'm taking the 49ers money line.
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. What about the over-under 46? Do you touch that?
I'm going to probably take the under because if the 49ers do win, it's not going to be a high-scoring game.
23-20 or 17-14, something like that?
It'll be,
it's gonna be gross.
25 to 24 to 21 would do it.
God damn it, that's gross.
They have the formula. Jimmy G throws 0 touchdowns and you win the game.
God, that's all you got to do. Hurts my fucking soul.
He's the fucking dude in your foursome during a game of Wolf that just he never is the reason you get the points for your team, but he's always on the winning team.
On the right team.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Craig Counsell.
Yeah.
This shows up and wins for no reason.
Yeah.
The shitty part about this is they had to put this game as the night game. This is the one that gets the highest ratings. It's a Hollywood Insider thing, but like the night game gets the highest ratings, and they didn't have a choice because it's 2 West Coast teams. So they had to slot this game. Otherwise, that Chiefs-Bengals game should have been in that slot. But hey, congratulations, you're on the West Coast. So who are you taking in this, Delco?
Well, we got to go with our preseason pick, right, Rob? We got to go with the Rams. Rams are our Super Bowl pick. We're just going to keep it going.
I've actually got money on the Rams to be in and win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Right? I think to make the Super Bowl, I got it earlier in the season for like plus 1,300, and I got them to win the Super Bowl last week at plus 670.
Okay.
Right? Because I think that's probably going to happen. But this week,
I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll see.
I definitely don't think that's going to happen.
I'm still mad about that fucking Chiefs game. 14-1 Rams, fucking Bills, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Should have happened. Should have happened.
It could have. It didn't. What I'm hoping is Bengals, by the way, go up 14-0 in this Chiefs game, and I can hammer that live.
Live bet. Live bet.
I love it. What about this over-under? Are you touching it?
Go under.
Go under for 46?
Rams, let's say Rams win 23-14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot Bob, who do you got? I know you picked the Rams preseason.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Rams, even though I really don't want to anymore. Not because of anything against what I think about that team, but because this fucking LA Times writer, Dylan Hernandez, he wrote this fucking op-ed the other day that was like, it's not LA's fault that 49ers fans like were the main fans at the stadium the last time they played. Like, it's not our fault we're shitty fans. And then for some reason just took a shit on St. Louis in the meanwhile.
That's
the
the real reason he's up.
Yeah. No, he was like, no, it's not our fault we have shitty fans. Also, St. Louis is a dump. And it was like, it was nonsensical fucking insanity.
Also, it's pretty simple, right? Nobody beat Sean McVay 7 straight times.
Right.
Right?
So I would for sure bet on the team that's lost 2 out of the first 3 because I just don't. 3-0 is like seemingly impossible.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I just don't know how the Niners score on the Rams at all.
I don't either. I have
don't.
no idea. But we never know how they score on anybody.
They don't.
No.
It's true.
Right?
Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel's good.
Yeah.
God damn.
I like the Rams
Kittle's
here.
the man too.
Yeah, Kittle's great, but who the fuck is throwing
Love
to him,
Kittle.
man?
Yeah.
Jimmy G's.
Look, when you're God.
Jimmy G.
Kittle had 63 yards total. He was their leading receiver last week. The running back, Mitchell, he had 17 carries for 53 yards in that game. Even looking at the stats, they had 200 yards offensively total for the fucking 49ers. They should not be in this game whatsoever. God damn it. This
Yeah, but
pisses
they
me off.
are.
They are, and I'm all in on the Rams.
Because Aaron Rodgers is a loser, man.
I'm all in on the Rams
Come
in this
on.
game.
He can't block for the kicks. He can't protect his kicker, field goal, and his punter.
He could have put up more than 10 points.
You're going to put him at the personal protector and let him block for those guys? Come on.
He was fine. He was ahead of that spread too. I lost my ass, and now I have to watch the 49ers beef up this fucking game on Sunday night.
Yeah.
I'm all in on the Rams. I'm taking the Rams in this game, and I don't even think it's necessary to tease either of these. Because I don't try. If I'm going to tease any of it, I'm going to tease it up to. I'm going to tease the Rams down to 2.5, and then get this over under up to 52 and take the under. Because I'm with you. I don't think any points are going to be scored in this game, and it might be a 3-0 halftime score. I mean, that's serious. It's one of those games that it feels like it might be 3-0 at halftime. It's gross all the way around. Both defenses are great.
The Rams should win this game easily, right?
Yeah.
Like easily.
One would think.
Because
On paper,
even in practice lately, any doubts anybody had about Stafford being a big game guy because he's been in Detroit this whole time, that's gone now, right? Everybody knows this guy can fucking play, and we can move on with our lives.
Yeah.
So this is another week. Like I feel like this. You guys calling the Rams at the beginning of the season might end up being a good call because it seems like he's on a fucking mission here, and sometimes shit just works out for some reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe not. Fucking Patrick Mahomes is pretty good.
I mean, at this point, I'm actually more convinced that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, but I'll just like stick to my fucking guns.
That
was my preseason pick, so I'm staying with it.
You're hedging emotionally. Because
I hate the Rams. I fucking hate the Rams.
I understand that, but you fucking made a bet.
I'm also I'm done fading myself. I picked Georgia at the beginning of the season to win the national championship, and then I went against that.
That's like
What?
Yeah.
I took Bama.
Yeah, in the game.
And he chased it live line the entire
you
game.
were
I watched
chasing it
him
the whole game.
the
entire game.
throwing money out the window on the live line all game on
We had the
Alabama.
backup plan with the Georgia pick, though, so he's
Yeah.
good.
Basically,
Preseason.
none of the sponsors are paying us in reality because they're getting all the money back from him
Yeah,
for
yeah,
his
yeah.
salary.
Yeah. And which is fine. D'Anthony mentioned at the top of the show about Big Ben retiring. You played against him. How was he as a quarterback? And because I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
I agree with you. He was tough, man. I only think I played against him one time, 2005, and they beat the shit out of us at Pittsburgh, and they won. So they had to beat us and win every single game after us to get to the playoffs, and they did that, and then won the Super Bowl. But he's gritty, man. He's a competitor. Good dude. I played golf with him a couple times early in his career in Tahoe, that event up there. But I got a lot of respect for him, man. He was a tough dude. Got the shit knocked out of him a lot of his career up there in Pittsburgh with just a lot of sacks. Used to scramble around pretty well, but I agree. He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I got a ton of respect for the guy.
It's been rough watching him play the last couple of years because his body is just completely broken down at this point.
Yeah.
It's like watching Albert Pujols play baseball. Like, damn, you're probably one of the top 5 baseball players of all time, and you look like you just look great.
Yeah, Ben went through it, but he still took that team to the playoffs this year, and it's like, hey, congratulations, my team didn't make it again.
That's why I think Aaron Rodgers should go to Pittsburgh.
It'd be fun. I will say
defense.
this. Yeah, it'd be a fun
It's
team
him,
to
Burrow,
watch.
and Lamar Jackson all in the same division. That's fucking good storyline.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. It'd be
Imagine TJ Watt playing with the lead. Because, they're going to have to lead a bunch of those games that Aaron's quarterback in. He just passed and Hayward, just go get the quarterback.
Pins his ears back.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
I mean, so he had 22 and a half sacks, tied the record. We played 17 games this year, but he played 15 games.
Yeah.
Right? But staying healthy is a fucking part of the game. So, it is what it is. But you got to wonder what he would have done with one more, right? Because he came into that last game needing a couple, and he got every goddamn one of them with the season on the line. You know what
crazy,
I mean?
man.
That dude is a fucking animal.
You can throw the
Yes.
You can throw sack records out the window though, because they didn't even start recording those till like the 80s.
That's true. And
So,
also,
like,
the last
like-
one homeboy got for the record
Extra game.
against Favre was
He
bullshit.
fell
Reggie
down.
White?
Oh, he
not
fell
Reggie White.
down.
Strahan.
It was
Strahan,
Brett Strahan.
Yeah.
Brett
Oh,
just kind of ran a boot and was like, oh, and he fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not real.
Stay
Was it
woke.
Deacon Jones? Was it Deacon Jones who had like 30-something? Would have had like 30-something
Yeah,
this season
I
or
think
something
so,
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, if they
Doesn't
counted
matter.
that, but that's when players were still, doing other jobs at night, like they go and play football.
Smoking on the sideline.
Right.
Yeah.
I miss that shit. I wish
Heaters,
somebody
yeah.
would just be crushing heaters. Jay Cutler, smoking Jay, dude.
Smoking Jay.
Do you see those fake quotes from him online? I don't know if they're real
They're
or
so good. They're
Are
so
those
funny.
real?
I think that I have no idea, but I always see the ones when they're smoking a cigarette or whatever, and these quotes. I'm sure they're not real, but who knows? Jay's a pretty funny guy. He says some pretty smart ass shit.
He was really fucking funny. His wife was funny on the show, and then they obviously got divorced. I want to talk about this Patrick Mahomes thing with you. A lot of people are rooting against the Chiefs because they hate Mahomes' brother and his wife so much.
I heard about this. Yeah.
She was spraying people down with champagne from a heated box on Chiefs fans that it was 4 degrees that night.
It was 40 degrees.
Was it 40?
Yeah, it was like 40.
It was warm there.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that
4
bad.
sounds better. Let's go with 4. Was there ever been a teammate where you were just like, man, can you just shut your wife and family members the fuck up so I can do my job and be awesome?
No, we didn't have that issue. Most guys that I played with, and then we didn't have any like superstars, so their wives weren't like in the limelight or nothing like that, or their brothers or like that. So we didn't have that situation in Chicago. Plus, most guys that I played with would have kept it in check anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Do you say something to him? Like, is that how it worked in the locker room? If somebody was getting out of line, you'd be like, hey, man, you need to focus on the game, and these other 2 assholes are just taking away, from what we're supposed to be doing out here?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to play with a guy named Olin Kreutz, who was the baddest mofo of all time. And he was our center I played him 11 years. And he was the guy in the locker room that held shit together. So if something was going down, you could probably bet that Olin was in the middle of making sure that situation didn't get any worse or escalate any more than it should.
Yeah, and I think social media helped out in your era of not having it.
Well, also the
hell yeah.
Kardashians weren't trying to date athletes either back then, so that helps.
That's
right.
True. Throw that in the mix too. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because look, we don't have to go into it because you're married. You dated somebody famous. Was that crazy at the time?
Where I dated that was famous.
Was it you and Paris Hilton?
I mean, a date. We went on like a date. I wouldn't even call that like a thing.
In the media, though, it looked like you had this long, amazing relationship.
Yeah. I guess 4 days is a long ass time these days. She sat in my box. My wife doesn't give a shit. My wife's awesome. She's like, yeah, whatever. It was 15 years ago. No, she sat in my box for a Monday night game at Soldier Field. We met in Vegas for a weekend, mutual friends, whatever. She came to the game, and that was it. Haven't talked to her since.
Yeah, but that was during a time without social media, right? And that story was
You're
huge.
Right. Thank God.
And I remember it, right? And that was a long time ago. I remember it. Imagine if that would have happened today, how much coverage that would have gotten. It would have been endless.
You're right. I'm so glad I didn't have to worry about that when I played. I didn't even know what social media was until after I retired.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, because I look at it one way where Patrick is looking at his younger brother who's like, all right, clearly this guy doesn't have any talent to do anything. He's a massive following on TikTok, and he can make he's making a lot of money off of TikTok. So good for him.
It seems like he can barely keep his body upright. Like he has no lower body strength or upper body strength. I think that's why he does TikToks. He has to stay in motion, otherwise he wouldn't be able to continue moving.
You have to be able to dance to be on TikTok, Brian. That's the rules.
Well, he can't.
I don't have it, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, me neither. I can't do any of that bullshit.
I'm not a dancing guy.
He can't dance.
No, he can't.
I can two-step.
I'm not talking
two-step.
about you. I'm talking about Jackson Mahomes. Looks like a fucking imbecile.
He kind of does
I
all
don't
of them
watch that,
half-assedly.
yeah.
He's kind of like,
Yeah.
like that's
Too
like
cool.
it's not.
Yeah.
He's not
I'm too
hitting
cool
it.
to do this dance.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
tight. It is not tight choreography. It is not.
And Bob, by the way, is a musical theater guy. He knows about tight
Oh,
choreography.
he knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he's not hitting it like he needs to.
No.
I pegged you for that when first time I was on with you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of people have
I,
pegged Bob.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
the first one to peg me at all.
Hey, before we get out of here, what do you think about Bonds and all the guys not getting to the Baseball Hall of Fame? Is that weird to you?
They should be in, man. What the fuck? Baseball didn't test for it. They didn't care about it. They wanted the home runs. They wanted the pitchers striking people out. They wanted all this bullshit. And then when they started to test for it, they wanted to blame it all on the players, which you know what goes into your body. But if the league doesn't test you for it, why the fuck wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. They didn't test them for it. They didn't care. They wanted these. They were making a shit ton of money because these players were playing unbelievable home runs. You know, Cummins was doing what he was doing. All the Cy Youngs.
And recovering from the '94 strike fallout too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like they were elevating the brand; they were saving the brand.
What was it? It was like
So, fuck.
Barry Bonds could replace all of his home runs with outs, and he would have a higher on-base percentage than David Ortiz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, even when Bonds first started, all those was the 30-30 club or the 40-40, whatever it was before
30-30,
he got
yeah.
before he got really big.
Yeah, he was.
just-
I think 4 times 30-30 guy before he.
If you
Yeah,
if you
just-
cut off when he was for sure
Jeez.
on steroids, he
93.
would still be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, when he went to
probably.
San Francisco, he
Agreed.
started to swell up a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, either way, whether he was
Yeah.
taking him or not, everybody else was too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
I
still
just- I mean-
did something no one's ever done before. Whatever.
I don't agree with taking steroids or HGH and that bullshit, but you know what? If you don't test the guys for it, and then baseball just turned their back on them, like, oh, we didn't know this was going on. Bullshit! You knew it was going on. You wanted it to go on. Helped your ratings.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they should. To answer your question, yes, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. What about Pete Rose?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, put him
Fuck
in.
yeah.
He's got the most hits of all time.
It's a museum, right? So the leading the guy with the most Cy
most
Youngs,
hits of all time.
most hits and most
Yeah.
home runs. None of them.
They're not
Are
gonna
in
be
And by the
Hall.
way, you can put that on their plaque.
Yeah.
Right. You could be like,
Just put a needle on there.
did steroids?
No, the cream. You just get the
yeah.
Allegedly
Clear.
did steroids.
Yeah, allegedly.
True,
did
allegedly.
steroids. Well, allegedly bet on games. You can put that
That's
there.
right.
They put military service on the plaque
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or under it, but either way, like
Wow.
Ted Williams killed so many people.
Ted Williams killed a lot of people.
killed a lot of North
Yeah.
Koreans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hand to hand though.
Really?
No.
Like I don't. When somebody's I've killed 1,000
No, he's
people.
dropping bombs,
yeah.
right?
Were you in the sky or on the ground, buddy?
That's a good point.
fucking real.
Good point.
Talk about fucking body.
Him and
counts.
Jimmy Stewart, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy
yeah.
Stewart actually retired as a brigadier or a major general in the Air
Yeah.
Force.
He did, yeah.
To be fair, people were shooting back at Jimmy Stewart.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like he was catching literal flack.
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
for-
Yeah.
What are you
Good
gonna
for
do?
Jimmy.
Bob Feller too.
Good
Yeah.
for Jimmy. Good for everybody out there watching the games this weekend. We will be live for a Super Bowl show at WTF in downtown Austin on February 13th for the new seltzer. Our new seltzer comes out, Hard AF Seltzer. Drink as much as you want for $20. Come on down and join us for a live show. It's 8%, Bry guys, so people are going to get rocked
Ooh.
off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seltzer.
Yeah. We'll send you out a case. It's the best in the biz, dude.
Bubbles. I love them.
Goddamn right you do. We're going to change you, dude. We're
Clip
going to
that.
change you.
Clip it.
You got to
Okay.
watch your calories. You got to watch your calories.
I'll take a Captain and Coke. All
They're
day.
actually real nice to drink on the golf course, though, to be honest, because you don't you stay pretty hydrated drinking those all day.
I got enough fucking problems on the golf course. I don't need to be drinking to add that to my problems.
Yeah, well, you drink to get rid of the problems, Brian. What
There's
the
a sweet
fuck?
spot.
My,
There's
my
a sweet
problems start growing when I start drinking on the golf
You
course.
compound everything. You smoke weed
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Exactly.
I haven't tried that yet.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll
Holding
get
out.
there.
I'm holding out.
Appreciate you joining us today for D'Anthony,
Thanks for
D'Anthony
having me.
Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, Brian Urlacher. I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Sports. Good night, everyone.